So, where's this Regis? This Regis dude that I have no idea who he is. Oh, we can't go through the front? Do we? Oh, we can. Good. Well, it's night again. It's more or less the same time of day that it was when we first came here, but we didn't enter through the upper area. This reminds me of a particular tomb in The Witcher 2 where we get in with Triss, if I recall correctly. Where is he? Forgot about my
friend's
glasses.
hand will make for a nice broth.
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned the last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Then we have one.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
Yeah.
Blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
Okay, so we need the blood of a higher vampire that's transformed into a higher vampire, or those things that we see sometimes.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True, but I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
I
That makes
detected
two of
a
us.
hint of irony
Worry
there.
not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
That makes sense, actually. Because I was going to ask, why don't we just chain him against the wall and transform him? But if he needs something else...
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Tesha Mudna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
Your humble being, that's right.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshamutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Teshamutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
Yeah. No, my build is sign intensity. All sign intensity, I think. I don't follow any builds though, but Teshamura. Have you been here? This looks somehow familiar. It's the middle of the night, of course, but I kind of would have preferred if it wasn't. There they come. All animation is all janky.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Huh.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
You lead.
Is that guy here already?
Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger.
Started to rain as well.
Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our well into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
The thundering right now, and there's a forktail flying up ahead. Okay, I'm gonna remove that because I don't want my glasses on. And let's go in. So we just kept going, and I'm okay. Oh, everything is kind of unlit right now. Let's get some torch. Here he is. Can I see? Human husbandry and care.
Human husbandry and care. This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
Breathing them? That must be fascinating. Cruel and terrible for the humans, I guess. Maybe. Who knows? But sociologically, that must be incredible. Champion of Teshamutna. Can I... Armor as well. Okay, let me read those books. Let's see. The most important aspect of raising human livestock is to, of course it's livestock, is to provide the herd with conditions that on the one hand guarantee their survival, but on the other hand do not extend too far beyond the minimum needed for that survival. It should be borne in mind that people are creatures bestowed with great intelligence, or rather cunning and instincts that allow them to gain as much as possible from their environment. In terms of husbandry, this means humans will always try to obtain more than we give them. It is recommended, therefore, that's interesting. To provide each individual with a place to sleep, a meal twice a day, and permanent access to water. These conditions, which might seem overly luxurious to some, ensure the optimal production of high-quality hemoglobin. More details on diet in later chapters. Also, essentially, is access to air, without which humans die within minutes. Yeah, that it's a good thing that that was included. There's no need to be concerned about the ability for human livestock to multiply in the conditions described above. If they are ensured a minimal existence and male and females are mixed, they will copulate irrespective of whether they are in captivity or not. It is worth mentioning here that there is a school of thought that suggests treating human livestock with greater freedom and care, including providing them with better quality fodder and a certain degree of freedom. This allegedly ensures a greater amount of favorable elements in the blood and makes it tastier. However, it is worth mentioning that this method of husbandry is much more difficult and requires emotional bonding techniques, which will be discussed in following chapters. Battery cage versus free-range humans. Oh, this is next chapters, I think. In recent decades, many of us have come to believe that a much more efficient or effective way of obtaining good quality human blood than hunting individuals is their systematic controlled husbandry. Apart from obvious advantages, such as being able to control what the flock eats and the ability to crossbreed specific individuals to obtain offspring with the best hemoglobin, another clear advantage to breeding humans flocks is that domesticated humans held in confinement, as opposed to those in their natural habitat, i.e. villages and towns, become less aggressive and therefore less troublesome. When it comes to farming humans, there are various schools, of which two seem to have gained the widest acceptance in recent times, namely battery cage and free-range husbandry. This thesis describes in detail the advantages and disadvantages, as well as the methods of carrying out each type of breeding. As an introduction, it is worth mentioning the basic differences between both types. Battery cage human husbandry, described very accurately and in detail in the book Human Husbandry, which we only read the first chapter of or something, is the placing of several male and female individuals in a closed, restrictive space with permanent access to air, food, and water. This form of breeding differs from free range in that the flock is not permitted to leave the breeding area and is held captive the entirety of their lives. Free range, on the other hand, involves leaving the flock in its natural habitat or creating a habitat that simulates it closely, i.e. creating villages, more on which can be found in the chapter Human Villages, establishing and growing a herd. That's very interesting, because there might have been villages that actually were just farming grounds for vampires. And then making the herd psychologically or physically dependent on its owner. The most effective method for making a human individual dependent is guaranteeing its safety and permanent access to high-quality feed. It is worth adding that a human that trusts its owner does not feel fear and does not defend itself from having its blood drunk, which limits the production of noradrenaline and cortisol, which have negative impacts on the taste of the blood. Furthermore, it may happen that a domesticated free-range human may feel a certain pleasure when its owner drinks its blood, most likely associated with sexual tension, which causes an intensification in the blood's flavor. Yeah, it's pretty much like chicken farms. Well, more like pig farms, because pigs are very smart.
Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Is he opening cages over there?
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet.
Yeah, we heard it.
Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
Okay, so we have a...
And this one? Which tribe's this?
That's his.
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadloves. We both remained in this part of the world.
And this one? Which
That's
tribe's this?
But why did they...
My tribe, and Deadloves. We both remained in this part of the world.
Why did they put their symbols in the cages? Notes of a Tesha Mutna prisoner. This is a prisoner, not a... transcript. I'm gonna read that. These are prisoners. Not grown humans. Let's read what this is. Down here, I assume. Yeah. No, not that one. This one. So, transcript of a conversation with a lower being, which is, I suppose, from written as a vampire or by a vampire. Let's see. Elder I don't know what what it is. Transcript of a conversation between, oh yeah, Ezehil Ildegrad and a human being. They're right there. Who are you? My name is Alex Viscount. Why is all your skin trembling? I'm scared, sir. You're scared? I don't understand. You don't know what fear is, sir? No, I have mastered your language, yet some concepts are beyond me. What is fear? It's a feeling that destroys every other feeling. It controls your head and your heart. So that's like lust? Or rage? Or... Anyway, what do you mean? I thought it was kind of pain. I have carried out tests in my laboratory on people, and I discovered that a mother subject to appropriate stimuli is able to forget about her child and think only about how to avoid pain. So fear would be similar to pain? And the human being says, no, pain rules the body, but fear is born in the heart. Oh yes, what you say is very interesting, says the elder vampire. I think I will have to examine your heart in the laboratory. What do you mean examine? I mean examine. Take it out and subject it to a proper examination. But sir, that would kill me. Yes, your mortality is a great inconvenience, but was not me who created your species, and I am not responsible for its excessive frailty. The conversation was carried out in a human language, in such it was written down. The transcription does not need translating. I found a piece of parchment that fell from the pocket of one of the monsters. I have also a lump of coal. Oh, that's why he's writing this. I would write this in my own blood, but I have hardly any left. I am cold. Every third day, they come and open my veins, after which I cannot move. I can't go on much longer. From the next cage, I hear the howls of terrified people. If I had the strength, I would smash my head against the bars. I hope it won't go on much longer. Alois, from the cage next to me, died yesterday. They drank him to death. This must have irritated them, because I heard them arguing in their strange language. They brought new people this morning. You could say that a supply of fresh blood arrived. They have no idea what they are in for. My only comfort is that I know already, and I won't have to live through the terror that I felt the first time they came for me. I had no idea what they wanted until they pulled out their shiny instruments. I have never seen such beautiful metal. My blood glistened a pure silvery color in those instruments. Interesting. They feed through instruments, or are they milking them? I suppose milking them is probably what's going on. Yeah. Or were, I guess. There's the cage.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then.
There it is.
3 done. 1 left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do.
It's kind of interesting.
We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent. Also my head has started spinning.
It's interesting that he's willing to subject himself to this pain.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Let's kill some monsters.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, Geralt. You won't be able to. We must forge through this, that is all.
Okay, got him. With fire. And we killed these guys so easily before. Okay, there it is. He's... Don't let him out! Not like that!
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore.
It's basically torture for him right now.
Get you out of here.
The concoction.
It's ready.
You
That
can't
doesn't
finish it
happen.
in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you.
Those bones don't stay there. That's not, the bones are not glued together.
Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
You
What
knew?
would you have done?
Found Deadloff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No. Because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you. The pain is my way of paying my debt. The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff. If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
I did say this before because he was subjecting himself to that pain.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
And now the hand is gonna talk. Well, not really, because the hand has been incinerated. We just have a little bit. Oh, that's the decoction? We've drank plenty of green stuff in this game already. Geralt doesn't seem to like that. Did he drink it already? He did.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
Quick to anger. Then again.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef?
Interesting. He was friends.
And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh?
Straightening the barrel. Yeah. Just tidy things up.
But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
That's the first murder. But he doesn't... He's not in control. He must be. No, but why did he ask for forgiveness if he's not in control? It must be a debt that he has to pay. Or something.
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detlef had made friends with him. Still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know.
Yeah.
See anything else?
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Detlef. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly, the situation provoked such emotions in Detlef. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
As opposed to killing other people.
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Detlef first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Detlef.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
Okay. And we level up as well. Really nice. Okay, so let's stop banging against everything and let's get out of here. Let's do some side quests. Because we have a few side quests that we have to do. And so far, the 2 side quests that we did were pretty interesting.